Hi, it's Justin. Now, I'm going to continue my series on Catholic horror novels, and this week I'm going to give you two novels that you cannot put down but will also scare the hell out of you. Are you interested? Then let's proceed. Our first novel is Rosemary's Baby by Ira Levin, which came out in 1967. This book sold 4 million copies. That's a lot of copies. And a lot of people said it began the mass wave of horror novels that came out in the 70s and 80s. Not all of them very high quality, but this fantastic book started it all. The setting is New York City, the Bramford Building on Central Park. This is the kind of building you'd like to have an apartment on. Beautiful views, nice Upper West Side neighborhood. But the problem is we begin to realize this building has a very, very dark past, including suicides, murders, questionable characters. Now, the two main characters, Guy and Rosemary Woodhouse, move to this building as the novel begins. And Guy is an aspiring actor. He's an actor who's had some success, but he's not quite made it big, and that's what he desperately wants. And Rosemary is his faithful wife. After moving in, they begin to meet the strange array of characters that live in this building, including their neighbors, Roman and Minnie Castrovet, a very wealthy and wise couple that offer plenty of advice, perhaps too much advice. Ultimately, we learn this building is home to a group of devil worshippers, and their goal is to impregnate Rosemary with the devil's child. Yes. That is the premise of this book. It is a very difficult premise to handle, but that is what you're dealing with as you read this. Unfortunately, Guy makes a Faustian bargain and goes and works with the rest of them. And the rest of the novel is really from Rosemary's point of view as she realizes the horror of what's happening around her. This is a magnificently written book. Everything is perfect. There's no wasted scene. The dialogue is snappy. The action moves along, and the pacing is just perfect. You will not be bored for a second. I found myself not wanting to put this book down, and the descriptions, everything just came alive. The Catholic themes of this book are strong. The first, of course, is good versus evil. We're talking about the devil here. So that is a major theme. But another major theme is lapsed faith. The novel really explores that because Rosemary Woodhouse is a lapsed Catholic. And as I've mentioned before, lapsed Catholics make excellent protagonists in novels. Why is that? Well, because they have one foot in the faith, they believe in the supernatural, they know about it, but because they're not fully in there, they don't have the full power and the armor of the faith to use to help them.
No, you're not religious, my dear, are you?
But I was brought up a Catholic. Now I don't know.
You will really find yourself in this novel rooting for Rosemary. She's not a pushover. She finds out what's going on and she really fights back hard. I found myself really hoping Rosemary makes it. And in many ways, this novel is a cautionary tale. Do not let your faith lapse, or you leave yourself open to bad things happening. I highly recommend you get this novel. You will not be disappointed, and I look forward to hearing what you think of it. The next novel is The Exorcist by William Blatty, written in 1971. This novel was really a literary landmark. And what do I mean by that? 57 weeks on the New York Times bestseller list. 17 weeks as the #1 bestseller. And this is highly unusual for a horror novel. So as you see, The Exorcist really, really knocked it out of the park. A lot of people know about the movie, and yes, that was a huge success. But before that, 2 years before that, the novel took the country by storm. The setting is Georgetown, right near Georgetown University, and the plot is a possession story. A young girl, Regan, whose mom is a very wealthy film actress, slowly begins to act stranger and stranger throughout the novel. We meet a fantastic, interesting group of characters. Besides Regan and her mom, Chris, we meet Father Damien Karras, who is a former boxer, a brilliant man who's having trouble with his faith. A Father Marin, who is not only a priest, an exorcist, and an archaeologist. In many ways is a heroic figure. We're cheering for him as this novel goes on. This is a great novel. Great characters. The novel takes time, letting you get to know all of them. The scenes build up, the tension builds up, and I have to say it has one of the greatest climaxes of any novel from any genre I've ever seen. The themes here, the Catholic and Christian themes here are, first of all, losing faith, how it happens, and the dangers of losing your faith, and how to regain it again. And the other major theme ultimately is redemption, defeating evil, and how ultimately Christianity is the only way to defeat evil. So there you are, two classic horror novels. You have no excuses. I highly recommend you get out there and get reading. If you have already read them, let me know how you like them. As I said, horror novels, Catholic horror novels, are a great way to evangelize. You read these things, you become very interested in the history, the faith, and you read and explore more. So I highly recommend you read them, tell your friends about them, and tell us about them. I'd love to hear your comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe. We have more great stuff coming next week. Thank you, and God bless.